Okay, we are live again. It's been a few days. Can you hear me out there? Um, yeah, we won. And it is a wonderful thing. Um, I'm going to give you a little bit of the background, long story short, as they say. Hold on. It's yeah. Is the sound okay? Let me know if the sound is okay or if it's not. Uh, yeah, we won. I'm saying we because I think that you guys, some of you are subscribed to all four of my channels actually, and it is my main channel that was hit with a copyright strike, which is strange. I thought that was very strange because I've never used content made by other people, and I've never used music made by. Well, I use music sometimes, but I use epidemic music, and you subscribe to that um, service so that you can use the music in their database there. Um, yeah. So what happened was, and I've talked about this before. Um, I filed a copyright complaint to YouTube because a channel called Midgard Living had just stolen two of my videos, cut them up, and used them in to create a video on their channel. So I filed a copyright complaint, and then YouTube hit me with a copyright complaint, and they removed one of my videos. No, sorry, YouTube hit me not with a copyright complaint, but with a copyright strike. And if you get three of those, they remove your entire channel. Um, so then this was obviously an error, because it's like, as I said before, it's like you walk down the street and then someone robs you. They take your wallet. Then you go to the police station and you say, I was robbed. And then they put you in jail for being robbed. Yeah. So what I did was uh, I called up one of these companies that have reached out to me in the past. There are companies that manage YouTube channels. What that means is that they have nothing to do with the content or anything like that, but it's they safeguard your channel. And if you want to, they can provide sponsorship deals and stuff like that, I guess. But for me, the main point here is that I needed some people with um, good a good contact in a human being inside of YouTube who could sort this out for me, and they did. And now the copyright strike has been removed. The video on that channel Midgard Living, that video has been removed, and all is good. A person in YouTube has emailed me and said that there is no copyright strike anymore on your channel. So yeah, that's great. All is good again. Now this is not for free, of course. This company, they are not at all greedy, I will say. It's quite reasonable, but it's not for free. That being said, maybe you don't know, but the value in, for me, being on YouTube, now this is my live streaming channel, of course, but essentially my main channel, also the outdoors channel, the main value in that is not the ad revenue. It is that they make me visible as an author. They direct people to my novels. That's the value. That's the main value in my YouTube presence. So it would have been horrible if I had been removed. And as I've said, I have never done anything against their, what's it called, terms of service, except during COVID when they had their quote unquote medical misinformation thing. Yeah. And what I said in one of the videos there was things that authorities are now saying themselves. So yeah, but YouTube they backtracked on that, and they took back channels that they removed during COVID. Actually, that happened quite recently. So that's great. I want to thank you for making a noise. Actually, it is kind of sad that we have to make a noise when things like this happen, but some of you did, and you what's it called? You flagged that other channel and all of that, and I think that kind of helped, So yeah. Now I don't know what made YouTube to finally, because to sort this out, I reached out to YouTube. I numerous emails, and what happened was I just got the same automated responses back, and they put you in this eternal loop. And when you're at the end of that one round, they just start at the beginning again. So it's a machine. You don't email to people there. But anyway, what can we conclude? We can conclude that AI makes everything worse. AI makes everything worse. Because if a human being had looked at this at the beginning, it would not have taken me a month. I think I've been working on this, trying to get them to sort it out for a month now. For a month, until they finally did correct their mistakes. And also, if you're a small channel on YouTube, the reality is that these companies, they might help you out of the kindness of their heart, but I wouldn't count on that. I would not count on that. So if you're a small channel and people steal your content, you're kind of stuck. There is very little you can do. And YouTube, at this point, YouTube is being mismanaged. It's obvious, isn't it? Neil Mohan, isn't that his name? The CEO of YouTube now. He just doubles down on the AI, and he says that we're going to implement more AI to sort out the mistakes that AI is making. Yeah, actually, if you now, I can't do the eternal loop like YouTube is doing on what we want. So just scroll back and listen to the beginning. So yeah, my deleted video has been restored. YouTube has corrected their mistakes, and I have no copyright strikes on my main channel or any of my channels anymore. So YouTube is becoming one of the most hated platforms out there. And it is because of the AI. I have talked about AI for a long time. And that AI has no place in the arts or in the creative fields. Now, if you use AI in it's called cancer screenings, they take a what's it called, X-ray or MRI, these things, and they run it through an AI program. I read somewhere that AI is very good at detecting cancer. You know, so that obviously use it there. That's where you should use AI. You shouldn't use it on a platform like YouTube or any creative platforms. This is about human connection. Human connection. Now, what Neil Mohan, the CEO of YouTube, said that he said, uh, let's see if I can remember it correctly. Well, I can't remember the quote word per word, but he said that they're going to implement even more AI, and this will enable, and listen to this will enable creators who lack the skill and equipment to create videos. So he thinks that YouTube should be a platform where that, I mean, if you lack the skill, get better at what you're doing then. I mean, I was not that great at making videos when I started out. Nobody is. But that's the whole point. You go through this, dare I say, this journey where you improve your craft, and isn't that the whole point? You know, personal development. You develop your craft, you get better at what you're doing. And when it comes to the equipment, listen, these days everyone has a smartphone, and you can make wonderful videos with just your smartphone. You can edit them in your smartphone. So what's he talking about? Lacking the skill? Well, yeah, it's always under the guise, Andrew says, helping the little guy. It's never about that, though, is it? No, it's not. I think we all understand that they're just using YouTube now to scrape the platform of everything that they can use to build their new AIs, the new Sora. That's what they're doing. And actually, the EU, as hated as they are now talking about suing YouTube for using the videos on the platform to feed their AI, to train their AI. That's coming. Now, so you can, and by the way, thank you. It's my Sci-Town cup. You know who you are. You sent me this, and yes, thank you. Yeah, so it's like YouTube, they removed they've done so many stupid things. They removed the dislike button, and first I thought, oh yeah, maybe. No, they removed not the dislike button, but the number of dislikes that you get. And I thought first, oh yeah, maybe, if you're 15 years old and then maybe, it's kinder that people don't see that, but you still see it as creator. And then I thought, oh, of course, this is because they don't want when they don't want to have it official when mainstream media, they put out their propaganda there and so on, which is often heavily disliked. They don't want to make that official. So yeah, and they went from a subscription-based platform to an algorithm-based platform. And I've always been against that because, listen, if I subscribe to a channel, I want YouTube to put the videos from that channel in front of me when I go on YouTube. I don't want an algorithm to predict what I want to watch. I'm not that simple. And there's a reason why I subscribe to channels. I like the channel, so I subscribe. And the suggested page on YouTube, the home page, it's completely worthless. Um, I go straight to the subscribe channels tab. um, so YouTube can go either in the direction that they seem to be going now with more AI. I think that if YouTube was separate company, not part of Google, they would not have done that. I do not think that that's profitable. And I think that a lot of what we're seeing now is that they're making choices that is profitable to Google, not long-term profitable to YouTube. That's what I think. Yeah, they could go the other way, of course, the sensible way. What they should do is that they should, if they're so, here's where they could. No, hold on. I was going to say they could use AI to detect which videos are AI, but that's a horrible idea because AI would get it wrong. Then my videos would be flagged for being AI. But it's like what they should do is that when you upload a video, you're supposed to click or check or uncheck a box there that says if there's AI in the video. And I uncheck that box, of course, because there is no AI in my videos. And what they should do is that if there is AI in your video and you have not checked that box, you should get a copyright strike or a warning. And again, if you then get 3, the channel is removed. And then they're saying that it has to be automated because there are so many videos being uploaded to YouTube. Yeah, you know what? Maybe maybe they shouldn't make it that easy to upload videos to YouTube. Maybe they could, to start with, say that, okay, we're not allowing any AI here. So that would take a certain percentage off of the new uploads. And they could also say that they could start targeting the reaction channels, actually, in my opinion, because I find that content to be honestly worthless. I'm not interested in other people's opinion on a video that, I would rather watch the original I have and then form my own opinion. I'm not interested in that. Other people may think differently, but if they removed all of those videos that, or they don't have to remove them, but they say that you can no longer upload videos using other people's content. The number of new uploads would go down. And you know what would happen? If you're a video creator, your income would go up. Because here's the thing, and this is very simple to understand, but they don't tell you this. The more videos that are uploaded to YouTube, the more videos they can spread the ads out on, right? And the less you make as a content creator or video creator. So proper video creators out there should be against this lowering the bar of making content. If you're new, if you just if you just joined the live stream here, you will have to scroll back because I can't be repeating yet another time. But it's good. It's good. So do scroll back. Yeah, I am aware that I am unwillingly training Google's AI, even though you can check that box or uncheck it as well, if you allow YouTube to use a video to train the AI. I think they do it anyway. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's see here. Google's AI is self-aware. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not an expert on this though, but I heard the claims, but I think it's not. Kat says, I know 3 creators who got their channels shut down for terms of service. YouTube just keeps their entire check from the month that they have earned in AdSense. Yeah. And we're talking thousands upon thousands of channels that have been terminated by the AI now, falsely terminated. It's quite horrible, actually. I'll just scroll up a little bit. Oh yeah, Kat says there have been mid-sized creators all over the internet who have been getting shut down suddenly. Some for good reason, but it does seem to be a calling of some kind. Yeah. Meanwhile, they allow these channels that just use other people's content and AI. Matthew Roberts says, been watching for a while, and as a young man, I've been inspired to get out into nature and become an outdoorsman by me. Oh, want to say thanks. Well, thank you for writing that. A big cat says, started hand stitching my Viking kit. Worked at a forge today. That's awesome. Let's see. Time will tell if Google's AI achieves awareness. Yeah, I think the first thing we must do is to define awareness, and I think it's very difficult to do that. What is that? You know? Yeah, Andrew says a few creators I follow got falsely terminated. They did get them back after human review, but one of them were told by YouTube support that the AI is learning. We're sorry. None of them were told that AI is learning. We're sorry about that. What an insult. Yeah, they don't say sorry. Yeah. Tribe of Benjamin says self-awareness as a new species is what I mean. Yeah, well, who knows? Did you see that Chinese robot that is dancing like a human being, and I don't know if that's AI. It's done the rounds on social media, and then they cut off the padding on one of the legs, and it's like a machine leg. Um, so, and it's so obvious that honestly, if it's not AI, it is a human being, probably a woman who is lacking one of the legs. But with prosthetics now, you can still move around just fine, and they put a suit on her and a mask. So I don't know if people get fooled by that, but you know, it is interesting with these robots, and that combined with the epidemic of loneliness, I think that it's going to be a big business. My personal opinion is that when they put AI in these robots and they can move around naturally, that's going to be very common to have in your house, very common, and people will see them as friends. That's what I think, and it won't take long either. It maybe just hours. When you get a robot like that in your house, it's a little bit off the track a little bit now, but just wanted to mention that I find it fascinating, and sad at the same time. Um, One thing I would like to know is if you hug one of those robots, if it's very lifelike and maybe they have central heating, does it increase your oxytocin? What do you call it in English? That hormone. The hormone you get a surge of that if you hug someone, right? And human beings are dependent on that. Human beings are actually dependent on human physical contact. Will a robot be able to trick oxytocin? Yes, yeah. Will a robot that feels and looks like a human being make increase your oxytocin production? Um, I would be interested in knowing. You know, I don't think they've done any research on that. I I don't know. Um, I don't know. My accent sound like robots. Robots. Yeah. Sorry about that. Do you have a robot? Um, I like boats. Uh, would I have a robot? Robot. Would I have robot? Uh, I'm not really interested in that. But Kat says they have probably done studies on oxytocin and breastfeeding pumps. Oh yeah, yeah, but yeah. Hmm. No, I think it is sad when there are people out there fantasizing about finally getting a girlfriend or boyfriend, because they can't get a human one, like a robot boyfriend or girlfriend. They can't get a human one. I think that's very sad. Um, and it tells a lot, you know. Are we going to become a species where, first of all, we don't reproduce, and we don't interact with the opposite sex because we can just buy a robot partner? That's going to be our demise, because we will die out as a species. Um, yeah. Okay. So the red pill bros and the those people who have checked out, they don't want anything to do with women. I've seen a meme. I saw a meme, and there's a man walk. Maybe you've seen it. A man walking past a house, or like in the street in a city, with a robot girlfriend, and then there's like this beggar woman, and she has this holds up this sign, uh, 6 figures, 6 feet, and all of that. And she's very sad. And they walk past the robot girlfriend and the man, and they're laughing. Um, and there is an attitude, I think, in I've seen comments. I've seen one comment about this under one of my videos a long time ago, and it said, "Soon we will all have robot girlfriends." I'm not going to, but there seems to be an attitude that AI is awesome in many ways, also because they can put AI in these robots and they will look like the perfect woman, and and all of that. Have you seen that attitude? Oh, Andrew, you saw that image, yeah. Have you seen that attitude on social media? And they're actually just sitting there waiting for the robots to become, like good enough, and then they'll just buy a robot girlfriend. KP Hidden, you did not get a notification. No, that's happens sometimes. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah. Those of you who just joined here, we won, meaning that there is no copyright strike on my channel, my main channel anymore, or any of my channels. YouTube, they finally had a human to look at this, and they saw that I was stolen from, and I was actually the victim in this case here. So they have removed the channel that used my videos. No, they haven't removed the channel. They removed the video that used my videos, and the false copyright strike against my channel is gone. What happened was that Google's AI thought that my original content was the stolen content. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Concerning the girlfriend boyfriend thing there, I'm an outdoors man, so I stumbled across a thread on some website. Apparently, there's like a singles club or something like that here in Norway, where you go out in the outdoors and you go hiking and as singles. And when they have these gatherings, apparently there are not that many men joining, and the women there in that thread were complaining about that. And Isn't it like I also read somewhere that they have these when they have these speed dating events, they have problems now getting men to join that because a lot of men, they don't want to interact with women and they just sit at home on social media scrolling their phone instead. Um, that's that's no good, you know. But again, it is now we're kind of changing a topic a little bit here, but um, no, they did not apologize. They don't do that. YouTube, that is. Now, I lost my train of thought here. Okay. Osterkuster says, can you imagine having to call the appliance repair service to come and fix your robot girl boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I remembered. So I had a conversation about this actually 2 days ago about dating. I was talking to two people who are single, and a man and a woman, in my own age group, and uh, they I said the following. I said that men, if they could choose, now you have to understand this. This is in the context of our conversation, and I said that if men could choose between the two following alternatives, like a man, middle-aged man. So what's middle-aged? 40 years plus, isn't it? If that man could choose between a woman with quite a lot of baggage, emotional and with kids and obligations and all of that, and a 25-year-old woman, he might not want to admit this, but he would choose the woman at 25 years old. And I said, I'm sorry, but I truly believe that if no, it's like when nobody's watching, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What do you want when nobody's watching? That man will want that woman at 25 years old. That's just how it is. And we may not like that. We may say that that's wrong, but we can't change the fact that most men do not see themselves as listen, I'm 53. I don't see myself as 53. And the problem, and I'm getting to my pointer now. The problem, you could say, with so many people being single now is that they are not satisfied with what is realistic for them. And it's usually not realistic if you're someone like me to get together with someone like a beautiful young woman at 25 years old, you know? And that's how it should be because that's, I mean, I honestly mean that's how it should be because a woman 25 years old, she deserves someone her own age or, not old like me. Because she will grow old as well, and then she will lose the husband when she is still quite young. So this is it's pure mathematics, right? But men, they don't. When they're in the situation, they meet someone like themselves, just a woman their own age, and with all of a lived life and all of that, it's not going to be attractive to them, and that's usually, and that's why we see this enormous surge in people, middle-aged people, staying single when they have a divorce and things like that, you know. And that does not mean that they are not lonely. I think they are. And maybe there is actually a huge market for these robot girlfriends and boyfriends there. I hope not. I hope that everyone out there will just say that no, that's not for me. You know. So I think Elon Musk is correct when he says that his biggest product will be the what's it called, Optimus, the robot. So you know, people sharing their some opinions here. It's very it's very controversial to say what I just said there, but I honestly think that if men were connected to a lie detector and they were asked, would you prefer, if a 50-year-old man was, yeah, what I just said, you know, not everyone, but a big proportion, I believe. Osterguster says, when I was 25, most 25-year-old women annoyed me drastically. Until I met my wife, we've been together 30 years this month. You won't find the right one staying in the basement playing video games. That's awesome, wonderful, and of course you are correct. Relationship organically, well, that's an idea. Yeah. What did you say, Kat? I'll just scroll up here. I think you misspelled that one comment, but is it the one about they might lose the younger woman to a younger man? Yeah, I don't have any personal experience with that, and I don't know anyone who are in that situation. You said older women dump men for younger models also. Yeah, it's goes the other way around, the other way. Yeah, for women as well. Yeah. I'm not surprised. That happened to Hulk Hogan. Okay. I don't know so much about Hulk Hogan. Yeah. No. But my point here was that I think, yeah, maybe women as well, you know. So they have this idea that they have this image of the eternally young, partner who is very attractive and all of that, and in the real world, that's maybe not what you're going to get. And then a lot of people maybe will rather want to be with uh, a robot in the future. Now, I don't know. We have never been in this situation before. Um, so we really don't know. But at this point, nothing surprises will surprise me. Nothing. um, yeah. And to old people um, who are lonely, I think that I think they're already using these robots in old people's homes, and yeah. But again, I don't think AI has any place in on a platform like YouTube. It's um, it's just destroying everything, and it's making everything worse. Uh, and even these, have you seen these channels where they talk about how to make YouTube videos, how to understand the algorithm, uh, and all of that? Even those people, they just went full on in. Well, they embraced AI when it was new on the platform. They, I think they still love AI, but they're not really talking so much about it anymore because they understand that it's hated. And it's only idiots that use AI now. If you use AI to make your videos, well, if you're lazy and you don't want to learn editing, you can use AI to edit your videos. But if you use AI in this way that it's visible in your videos, um, sorry to say this, but then you're probably an idiot. People don't want to see that. They want human connection. Is that so hard? Why is that so hard to understand? They want human connection. They can watch a stupid Marvel movie at any time of the day or week when they have time to watch a movie. You know, with Spider-Man, AI generated Spider-Man or whatever I don't know. I don't watch movies like that. They can it's that's not why you go on YouTube. You go on YouTube to have a human connection with someone who actually shares some information or a part of his or her life or experience, um, or some how to build a cabinet. You know, maybe that last one was not the best example. How to build a cabinet. How to videos will be all AI very soon, I think, and it will just give you the necessary information, and people will be content watching that, I believe, for the most part, because they just want to know as quickly as possible how to do this task. Mm, yeah. Also, it's difficult, of course, to tell if it's AI or a human in the videos. But this is why it's so important to follow channels, because you will know if the person in the videos is an AI generated person. You will know if you follow the channel, because they can't mimic being a human. They really can't. And I always say now, if a piece of advice when you make videos, leave in some of the imperfections, because the AI videos will not be doing that. It will all be polished. And also go and uncheck that box in the Creator Studio where it says filter the video image, filter the sound with AI, because it makes your video look like AI and sound like AI. So go and uncheck that. It's channel wide. So we go and uncheck that. You're retraining as a blacksmith to have a more fulfilling career. That's great. Waterfall says, I made 2 videos about this topic today and been thinking about this all day. Underachiever says, the thing is the algorithm pushes more AI slop and not so much real people, at least at the moment. Yeah, I've noticed. Rick Beto, yeah, I know his channel. Yeah, how bad it is for musicians as well. Yeah. Yeah, good point from Tribe of Benjamin here. Just think about it. If we are dealing with AI in the public's in the public, imagine the military AI is already godlike status. Yes. As far as I know, I might be wrong here, but this is where I should say my intel. I have intel, like the preppers say. I have a contact in the defense department. My secret contact. Yeah, I'll go with that. My secret contact in the most secret department of the, yeah, it's called the Department of War in the USA now. Quite telling, isn't it? No, I don't have any such contacts. but what I think is that they now can use a drone. They can program a drone to find you using your mobile phone. When they can find where you are. If you have a smartphone, they can find it quite exact. If you have an old-fashioned dumb phone, it's much more difficult. They have to use triangulation between the cell phone bases, but they can use that and facial recognition, yes, and send the drone out to find you and kill you. They do have the technology to do that now. That's quite scary, isn't it? Now, when it comes to facial recognition, I don't know this, but here's my take on that concerning having a beard, right? My camera, it's an advanced camera, but it's not a new camera. It's not old either. It's a Canon high-end camera. I'm not using that now, but it recognizes your face. No, it recognizes a face, a face and eyes, and the autofocus will most of the time focus on that. But it is much difficult for the camera to focus on your face and to recognize your face as a face when you have a beard. So could it be that having a beard makes it more difficult for the AI facial recognition I don't know. But yeah, I'm keeping my beard anyway. But um, I would guess I would guess that if you have some kind of hat on and sunglasses and a beard, it's difficult to use facial recognition. Um, yeah. A US general said that he was using ChatGPT to make military decisions. Why has he not been fired then? Um, yeah. Oh, another thing somewhat connected to this is that I had a problem. Um, did I do a live stream? I think actually I did a live stream and the power was cut to where I'm sitting now. And that was because one of the lamps outside was actually it got too old, and something happened there. And the electrician who came here, he said to fix it. He said that, "Do you have a smart meter?" And there is no. And I said, "No, there is no smart meter here. There will never be a smart meter in my house." And he said that if you have a smart meter, they can cut the power to parts of your house if they want to. If they see some problem or something, they can just cut the power, not only to your entire house, but to a part of your house. Um, and then you can kind of imagine that, okay, what if someone hacked into that grid and they found someone doing a live stream, and they monitor that person doing a live stream, and whenever that person starts talking about something critical to the government, they just cut the power, or the AI will monitor that and cut the power. We can imagine these things, and we don't really know how far they've implemented the AI and all of this. Um, so um, yeah, so having a smart meter, if you can avoid it, if you I know a lot of people don't have a choice, but if you can avoid it, do avoid it. um, yeah. Do you think AI will ever become like Terminator movies? Well, um, I would say yes, in the sense that they already have robots, war robots, like units that have a gun attached to them, like these dogs, robot dogs, right? Um, so yes, I don't think that they will look like humans, like in the that they will have like legs and arms. I don't see how that is better than having just a machine. No, I, I guess some kind of a small machine or a vehicle that can move around and shoot and at people. uh, that is also a robot and with an AI that makes decisions, I guess. Um, yeah. Um, so I don't know, but I think if you are a big fan of AI at this point, you should be a researcher in cancer screening. That's okay. Then I will say thumbs up to you. Yes, that's where you should use it. But the other people who are fans of AI now are governments. Of course, they love AI. Have you noticed that governments, they are implementing AI in everything, and they love AI. Why is that? And also, you have other people who love AI are just idiots. But yeah, governments, they love AI. And yeah, I'll have to talk about another thing here. And the reason why I can't go to the USA, um, at least not for the next 3 years. Um, I don't know if you know, but um, the present government in the USA they love AI, and Peter Thiel of Palantir and Palantir, like I said it, is being allowed to run the show when it comes to things, I guess. To enter the USA, their proposal now, and if it goes through, which I think it will because they are in the majority, I'll just have a sip of this toddy, non-alcoholic, by the way. As Norwegian, if you travel to the USA, this is their proposal. As you enter the USA, you have to do the following: fingerprint. You have to give them a fingerprint, biometric scan of your face. They will take a DNA sample. You have to allow them access to your last 5 years of social media, all your social media accounts. Now, I don't know if you have to allow them access into your social media accounts, but probably not. But you have to tell them all of your social media accounts so that they can have a look. Also, you have to give them the names, telephone numbers, and addresses of your family members. That's what you have to do if their proposal goes through to enter the USA. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Biometric face scan that goes straight to Palantir. Peter Thiel, he can go and fuck himself. Excuse my language there, which I'm sure he does all of the time. Anyway, but also DNA sample. No, no, not going to do that. So um, Trump was quoted saying that, why don't we get more Norwegians coming here? He was talking about the immigrants that they don't want. Why don't we get more Norwegians coming here? He actually said that. Why? Because we don't want to. Why would we? So the general attitude is, why would we go there? Now, I would like to go to the USA. I would very much like to go to the USA, but not when you have to do a biometric face scan and give them your DNA and social media for the last 5 years. And I would be in trouble because I've been very critical about the present government. So yeah. No, it's not like I think this will come to all countries eventually, if people don't rise up and protest. And we need some civil disobedience. Here's what we need. We need every single person to, when they travel, airports and all of that, to protest and say that I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the face scan. I'm not doing the fingerprint thing. I'm not doing the retina scan. No, you have my passport. That's all. If everyone did that, we wouldn't have this problem, would we? But I think the EU is watching closely. The EU really wants to do that. Walmart is currently being sued in Illinois for using biometrics on customers. Wonderful. We need these people to go and be shamed and lose their jobs. So, yeah, I think I talked about this before. Very soon now, to use your smartphone, you will have to do a biometric face scan. I think that's coming. Don't upgrade or don't download the new version of the operating system on your smartphone. Don't do that. So 10 Tiger says, everyone stop moving around for a month. That would break them. Yes, it would. And they need to be broken. That's what needs to happen. We need to go back to common decency. That's simple. This is not complicated at all. You need to have your privacy. You need to be treated like a human being when you travel, also when you travel to other countries. And when it comes to the USA, it's very simple. If there are people from the USA watching, you have a deadly combination. You have a very lacking mental health care. You have a liberal view on narcotics, and you have lots of guns. That combination is lethal. You need to sort that out. So I'll just spell it out to you. You have to sort out a proper mental health care for everyone, no matter if they're rich or poor. You have to make the drugs illegal, like that Just make it illegal. And yeah, that won't help. People will still do it. Yeah. I disagree. Make it illegal and have more control with the guns. And that's going to annoy people. I don't fucking care. It's really that simple. Now, I would say out of those three, the guns is maybe not the problem. But the guns with the other two things, the other two things make the guns a problem. That you could say, like, yeah. But now, when it comes to biometric face scan and invasion of your privacy, that's coming to the EU, and they really, really want that. It's about control, of course, controlling the populations, to take the power away from people. Um, it's been like that since forever. And someone who my field of knowledge is the Viking Age, and that was the source of the conflicts. In Norway, at least, that's why they killed the kings. They wanted to keep their what's the word? Well, the kings then typically, they used Christianity as a political tool, and they took power away from the local communities and centralized power under the king. And we are seeing the same now, larger scale, but seeing the same now. They're taking the power away from people and local communities and centralizing power so far away from you that you won't have any say on anything. So, yeah. Yeah, you know what? If I lived in one of those cities in the USA, I would probably have a gun too. Yeah, because I'm not interested in ending up in a fist fight with a bunch of criminals, and I'm not giving away my wallet either. So I would probably, I don't blame you for having a gun. When it's like you can't. Here's when we talk about guns. It's very emotional to Americans. I get it, but you can't tell people that you are not allowed to have guns anymore without fixing the problems that make people buy guns. Right. So what I mean is that if you have a city and there's a lot of crime, you can't just say, oh no, you're not allowed to have guns anymore, because the criminals will still have guns, right? So you have to fix those problems before you can start talking about the guns or taking the guns away from people. Yeah, I would have bioinformatics 73 says, as a woman, I'm not giving up my equalizer. Yeah, I support that. It's like you shouldn't. You probably shouldn't. So, but I'm very happy that you can't carry guns around in public in Norway except when you're hunting. I'm happy about that. Um, but if we should get a lot more crime here, then I would not be saying that. I'm going to say something that you can't say in Norway. It's almost no, I can't say that. Can't say that. You're evil if you say that. But some years ago, we had something horrible happened. And I will ask you not to use the name of the individual in the chat, and I will not mention his name. But he blew up the, well, governmental buildings in the city center in Oslo, and he then went out to Utøya, where the Labour Party youth were gathered, and he killed a lot of people there. He went out there, started shooting. If they had guards there, armed guards, he would not have been able to keep shooting, if you get what I'm saying. So this is why, even if you had people there who carried guns, like just normal people, chances are that he would have been shot before he managed to kill as many people as he did kill. No, this was not the guy with arrows. No, that was a mentally disturbed guy. Well, this guy was mentally disturbed too, I believe, but no, Utøya. So you can't say that crime carried out, gun crime will not happen if people are not allowed to carry guns. They do happen. But if I go out in the public space in Norway, or the public, if I should write in a newspaper, they wouldn't print it anyway. But if I should write that if we had open carry in Norway, he probably would have killed some people, but then he would have been shot. If you had 20 people there with guns, he would have been shot, and that would have saved a lot of lives. Yeah, children. Yeah. So that's another aspect to it, I guess. Yeah. What's it, 70 children? Yeah, children. Youth, like very young people. Yeah. He was on this mixture of steroids and other substances. Yes. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that when you have the combination of lacking mental health in the country and a liberal view of narcotic drugs and guns for everyone, that's a lethal combination. It's a lethal combination. But I'm not saying that, given the circumstances in the place where you live, then maybe you should have a gun. But it shouldn't get to that. Okay. Yes. We've been talking for a while now. But yeah, to summarize, we won against YouTube's AI. The copyright strike on my main channel is gone. My video has been reinstated. And if you didn't know, what happened was that I filed a copyright complaint because another channel stole my videos. YouTube's AI thought then that one of my videos was the stolen one, and I got hit with a copyright strike. And it has taken me about a month, I think, with endless emails. But now I'm connected to a company, one of these companies that manage copyrights and protect your channel, which is not for free, but it's necessary at this point. So, yeah, it did give me quite a migraine. It did. And as I often say these days, AI is making everything worse. Yeah. Except if you're in the medical field and you use it to, as I said, to scan for diseases or things like that, you know. But AI has no place in social media. Should be reason to ban a channel if you use AI, in my opinion. Yeah. Okay. I'm actually taking the day off today. Going out. I'm filming a fun little video for my outdoors channel. And yeah, I got a bit of not a flu, but a cold. So, but yeah, funny thing, I haven't had a real cold in many, many years now. Knock wood, knock wood. Yeah, isn't that funny? People around me, they seem to get sick all the time. But I didn't get the vaccine though, so during COVID, so maybe that has something to do with it. Okay. Yeah, have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon. And yeah, then the new video will be on the outdoors channel. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. See you soon.